and now I'm living. And the good just gets better, keeps on giving. Not even close to the end, it's just beginning. Life is getting lighter while the days are getting brighter, yeah. And it's a good, I won't even worry anymore. Took all my cares, took and kicked them all out the door. Go on and try, come and tell me what you're waiting for. Move and keep on going till your life is overflowing, yeah. I do a dance of victory, cause now I'm living good. No, I'm not living like I used to be. Now talk about things, talk about my mind. Now I'm free from the words that I left behind. I gotta jump for joy and shout aloud and make a sound. Oh, the world can stop me now, no. And on the music I will ride on the beat. Play my guitar while I'm stomping my feet, yeah. I gotta celebrate, laugh and get excited about good times and good living. Come on, shout it out, hey! Take it up, take it over, take it out of control. Today I'm praying my soul and now you got me singing, oh, hey, oh, I'm feeling fine.
And welcome to the U.S. Open of Racquetball. This is the 22nd edition of the championships, hosted here in Minneapolis, Minnesota, in the greatest of downtowns at the Target Center, home of the Timberwolves. And before we go any further, just a congratulations to the Lynx, 4-time champions. Can you believe it? You better believe it. I'm Brian Pineda, live with Kelly, the man behind the man, behind the man, behind the man. And the man we're all behind is the wizard of this Oz, Doug Ganem, puts on this event 22 years and running, the granddaddy of them all. We're the best of the men's, the women's, the amateurs, the losers, the winners, the crybabies, the photographers, the best and worst referees, and just in general, the greatest of sporting fans. Once again, welcome to the IRT Network. I'm Brian Pineda, running solo. We gave Pratt time off. I guess that's okay if he's going to go play a pro match. We'll make do without him, but he's sorely missed, no doubt. Right now, we are live in the round of 32s. Carlos Keller Vargas from Bolivia will be taking on number 3 seed in this year's 2017 draw, Daniel de la Rosa, out of San Luis Potosí, residing in Arizona in the midterm after giving birth to one of the most beautiful babies in the world with his wife, Michelle Key, now Michelle de la Rosa. Players getting their introduction from one of the long-standing voices, tournament extraordinaires, Otto Dietrich. And just as a side note, do not forget to update your fantasy picks for Week 5 of the NFL. Just throwing it out there. And there you've heard it. It's DLR, the number 3 seed, taking on the number 30 seed overall, Carlos Keller Vargas. Adam Mini on the call. Here we go. Game of 1, a best of 5, 0-0. That's an ideal start there for DLR. It's a great missile of a first serve to the backhand of Keller. Off the schneid at 1 serving 0. That was greedy of DLR. I love to see that. Tried going for the crack ace. Gets a setup from Keller instead and finishes backhand style to the left corner splat. 2 serving 0. Little miscue there from DLR. For those of you that haven't picked up on it yet, Daniel de la Rosa, as fun as that name is to say, we're cutting it short to DLR this week. And as promised, I have an update for you guys. Monchik leads 2-0, and about 5 minutes ago, it could be over, but it was 3-3. That's good handies right there from Carlos Keller Vargas as we take a look at his way into the main draw. Carlos started out in the round of 128, taking on Alejandro Herrera, probably one of the tougher matches. Was able to squeak that one out in 4. He went 11-9, 11-9, lost the third at 12-14, and then cleaned it up with an 11-1 victory. On to John Wolf, which he won in convincing fashion, 11-2, 11-3, 11-3. And now finds himself with a date with the number 3 ranked player in the world. And on the stadium court, arguably the toughest court to compete on. Z-serve left up for Keller to feast on. This is one of the young, bright, shining stars of Bolivia. We have some video of his pro doubles. Him and partner Kadim Carrasco were taken down by Diaz and Bredenbeck, who made their way into the pro doubles main draw. Keller has played a lot of racquetball so far. For serving 2. This is game number 1, round of 32. An IRT pro draw, therefore IRT rules. This will be a best of 5 match. Each game played to 11 points, win by 2. Each player's allowed 1 timeout. And while serving, you receive 2 serves. Mania calls that good. 3 serving 4 now. 4-3. DLR serving again. And a little miscue there off the backhand from Carlitos. Extends the difference now, 5-2. That's aggressive and beautiful at the same time. Five serving 3 now. That's great creativity there from Keller. Left himself in a corner. DLR tried to pick one direction. Keller at the last minute able to jump and flick the wrist down the line. Have a replay there. That one stays in. So this will be interesting. This will be a first time. So Daniel De La Rosa had spiked his ball, as he did, and it went out. It would have been an automatic. Instead, it clipped something weird, and we're going to get an official ruling if this is going to be a replay. So a very rare irregularity, and the official ruling on it is that the light is in play. Five serving 4. Great first match opener here. And rumor on the streets is that between Carlos Keller Vargas and Conrado Moscoso, these are the guy that switched for the top spot of probably the best player in all of Bolivia. And that's with respect to Kadim and Roland Keller as well. But these two are the one that predominantly get it done in the singles. That's saying something because both Kadim and Roland are fantastic players. That's a well-sold avoidable from DLR. Costly at the expense of Carlos Keller. So we've got a timeout here on the stage court. Excellent timeout. We'll take a short break in the action. We'll be right back with this round of 32. Don't go anywhere.
There are no shortcuts to the top. Do you have what it takes? Desire is something within you and only you. For when the ground falls from your feet, will you be the one to rise up? It's a long road to the top, but that's just what it takes to become pro.
And welcome back to the action. Timeout there for Keller. 6-4 with Daniel De La Rosa serving. Just joining us, welcome. I'm Brian Pineda with the IRT Network, and this is great stuff coming to you from Minneapolis, Minnesota, here at the Target Center, home of the Timberwolves, the 22nd edition of the U.S. Open. The round of 32 featuring Daniel De La Rosa and Carlos Keller. This will be one of the tougher matchups in the beginning round for one of our top 4 seeds. 16 players were seeded overall, but right now the top 4 are who own the winners column of tournaments this year and last. It's a healthy shot there from DLR as he goes to the backhand reverse. So things quickly moving along smoothly for DLR after being a tight first half of the first game. Now 4 serving 9. Carlos needs to make some quick work of some points here. Just want to give you all an update of what's going on from a programming standpoint. We've just received word that Roland Keller has forfeited his singles, which means Rocky Carson has an automatic bye into the round of 16. So next we will be having Paula Longoria, world number 1 star phenom from Mexico, taking on the 32 seed Janelle Tysinger from California out of Simi Valley. That will be what's next after this awesome round of 32 here on the men's IRT. That's a nice splat there from Carlos. You can tell even DLR having a touch of struggle. With the visibility of the court. So was just able to have a little moment there with Roland Keller. Asked him why he forfeited out of the singles, and he is dealing with a lot of physical ailments right now. Blisters on the hands and feet from a lot of training, getting ready for Worlds and whatnot. And he made a selfless choice. Really wanted to play the singles. Was looking really good in my opinion as well when I got to watch a little bit of him. And instead of incurring more injury than he has to right now, he forfeited the singles so that way he can give his doubles team the best possible hope. So, tough. We all want to see it. That would have been a great first round for the fans as well. And Roland was playing some really inspiring ball, but truly respectable when he's doing it for the courtesy of his team. 9 serving 5 for DLR, game number 1. It's a big skip there from DLR, very uncharacteristic. So the winner of this match will take on the winner of Eric Garcia, playing for Colorado State Pueblo, originally coming out of Mexico as well, against one of Florida's new conglomerates of Charlie Pratt. So the winner of that match, Garcia and Pratt, will take on the winner of this match on the stadium court right now between Keller and DLR. That's excellent shooting there from Carlos. Smart change-ups, not going to the same shot every time. If you have DLR having to dive for a ball, you're playing pretty smart between the ears. And likewise, you got to be shooting so finite for Carlos not to get a beat on the ball. Both are exceptional players with a lot of longevity left in their careers. Cannot be any closer to a rollout. 10 serving 5. Opportunity for a DLR here. Take game one. A little bit of a light crowd here today for this much anticipated match. Nothing to do with these players, everything to do with the story that has been building prior to the Open when we heard the announcement of Sudsy Monchik, 4-time U.S. Open, entering back into the main draw of singles. Last night lost a tiebreaker as him and other legend of our sport, Cliff Swain, teamed up to play some doubles. But Sudsy has been playing some inspiring singles ball, boy, I tell you. The best part is everyone's, including myself, we've been amazed to watch it. It's awesome to see again. But I'm a big believer he has yet to show his full hand yet. However, Felipe, he is a South American warrior, boy, I tell you. He is giving Sudsy everything he can handle. Sudsy does have a 2-0 lead in the game count. A serve taken away there from Carlos. But they were in the middle of the third the last time I checked. That's great movement from Carlos Keller, extending this match a little further, this game rather. 6 serving 10. Game point number 2 here for DLR. Given away there from Keller. We're going to take a short break in the action. When we return, game number 2. We'll be right back.
When it comes to the game of life, we're all on the same team. And success comes simply from trying. You don't have to be a celebrated athlete to celebrate being active. And you don't have to be on the field to have your own cheering section. United Healthcare.
Introducing Head's new explosive line of extreme rackets featuring graphene touch technology. Available in 3 different weights and 5 different models, Graphene Touch delivers maximum power with state-of-the-art shock absorption for the ultimate playing experience. Power never felt so good. For more information or a dealer near you, visit www.head.com today.
And welcome back to the U.S. Open. This is the 22nd year this has been going on. We want to thank the Wizard of Racquetball, Doug Ganem, for doing this for 22 consecutive years. The granddaddy of all indoor tournaments right here. What a great event he has going on. So many hands and heads that collaborate to make this the shining gem of the indoor scene. We want to thank all those volunteers as well, all the tours and organizations, the photographers, the referees, the fans, the sponsors, everyone that comes together to make this event stand out among the rest. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Brian Pineda with the IRT Network. We have a great match coming up here. Everything is going according to seeding after game number 1. DLR takes game 1, 11-6. Second half was all DLR. First half, it was going neck and neck. Now Keller will get his opportunities here first here in game number 2. Adam and Nee on the call, 0 serving 0. And that's an ace serve to start things out. Game 1, DLR started out with the ace serve. Perhaps this will be the trend for who wins each game. We'll find out. 1 serving 0. DLR boxes himself out with that last shot. Carlos able to pat that one into the left corner. Oh, that's great handy right there from Daniel. Great poise. 0 serving 2. And just an update for all of our fans out there. Sudsy moves on. The dream is alive. And he wins in 3 straight, showing no signs of slowing down. He won 11-4, 11-9, 11-9 against the seasoned Felipe Camacho. His toughest yet will be to come, as Jansen Allen was able to win his match in 4 against Edson Martinez. 7-11, 11-3, 11-6, 13-11. Could have gone the distance. So I am excited for that. This will be a bigger test, obviously, as it's the next round, but really Jansen Allen having a bigger seed long-standing than Camacho, this will really be something to watch. So Sudsy Monchik, Jansen Allen, we're just a couple hours away from that happening. It's 12 o'clock, 12:01 to be precise, here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And that's a 2:40 p.m. Minneapolis time match. So something to look forward to. In the meantime, let's not get too far away here. This itself has everything to be promising of a spectator-friendly match. That's a good call there. Carlos, every right to be upset with himself there. Opportunity to side DLR out. Miscues and gets a replay. And now sacrifices a point. So adding insult to injury there. Daniel off the schneid. 1 serving 2. Two serving 2 now. Great wide angle from Carlos. Gets a plum. Tries to go wide angle again. Digs that one off the back wall. DLR tees off. Now it's DLR again. Feast on that plum he does. And after one bad shot, it led to a 3-point run now for DLR. That is a hammer of a forehand from Daniel De La Rosa. It's crazy how one shot can change the direction of a game or a match. Carlos Keller, who at one point was up 2-0, opportunity to side out Daniel. Hits the ball back at himself. Gets a replay for Daniel to be back in the box. And just like that, Daniel is now up 5-2. Gets a side out there. Now opportunity to go up 6. Just how good the top 3 are, top 4, top 8 in any sport can be. Any slight mental error can really be costly. That's a good timeout from Keller before things get too far out of hand. The score is 6-2. We'll take a short break in the action as well. We'll watch and see if Carlos can carpe his diem on this timeout. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're tuning in to the IRT Network. Watching live on screen is world-ranked number 3, Daniel De La Rosa, taking on the 30th seed into the main draw of Carlos Keller Vargas from Santa Cruz, Bolivia. He took a timeout here as we check into the scoreboard. It is 6-2 before things got too out of hand. Let's see if he can really make the most of his timeout. DLR trying to do a no-look lob. Not sure when that's warranted. A little bit of slightness on staying mentally focused. Got Carlos a side out. Couldn't convert it into a point. DLR sides him out. And you're really feeling all the momentum right now on the number 3 seed, who kind of has an answer for everything. And Keller's trying to find his range. You can see from the body language, he's not being too easy on himself. And the errors are plentiful right now. It's one thing to notice as well from a player's perspective. You're already going against one of the best players in the world. The last thing you want to do is make it easy for him and let the unforced errors pile up. Because as you see right there, what was once 2-0, in a matter of 5 minutes, we're at 9-2. That's great use of Keller's body. Smart speed on the ball. Practicing fundamentals of down the line. Second serve. Keller goes for the lob. DLR goes for a pinch. He dirty dog. Gets away with it as Keller has to get level. Leaves it up, and DLR feasts with a touch down the line. Oh, boy. That can be a bruise to the ego. Best to move on from that one. Opportunity for DLR to take a 2-0 lead here in this match. Carlos not willing to go away just yet. He's dug himself into a hole. 1 point at a time now. 2 serving 10. Goes for a crack. DLR not too sure. In point number 2. And just like game 1, given away off the frame of Keller. He is really going to have a strong conversation here with his team, staying courtside. He's talking with his brother, Roland. We'll let them have a moment. When we return, it'll be game number 3. Either DLR in straight sets or Carlos will make a push for games 4 and possibly 5. We'll be right back with more of the action. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the U.S. Open of Racquetball, where all dreams can become reality as long as you win. This is the 22nd Championships hosted in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And we are in the midst of one of the fan favorites, anticipated round of 32s, featuring Carlos Keller Vargas, one of the young, bright, shining stars of Bolivia, taking on one of Mexico's most prominent players today and rising star as well. A lot of clout surrounding this gentleman from San Luis Potosí, Mexico, Daniel de la Rosa. He has a 2-0 lead. As we head into game number 3, Mania calls it in 0-0 and rally underway. Wow. It's great stuff. What a get from Keller. And a phenomenal put down there to end it for DLR. It's good stuff there from Keller. Great court coverage. Second serve here for Keller. Keller's got this uncanny, perfect pinch. It puts it just out of reach for DLR. Looks like an up ball is actually a perfect angle. Great get from DLR. And that's unfortunate. A slight miscue on the footwork has Keller reaching for that ball when one extra step would have put him in the primetime spot. Opportunity DLR now. And ladies and gentlemen, we get a nice little privilege here of introducing who I find to be the best broadcaster in the business, Sean P. Diddy. No, I'm just kidding. Sean Reuter, what is up, dude?
B. Pineda and all the racquetball fans, it's an honor to be here with you.
Woo.
What's going on? Catch me up. I haven't seen a
So
thing.
this is game number 3. I was actually really looking forward to it. Fan favorite match here in the 32s. And DLR, it's been all one-sided affair. Close in the first game. DLR pulled away in the second half of the first. Won 11-6, then 11-3. And now Carlos is trying to stay alive here. But talk about two guys that can cover the court.
Absolutely. I saw Carlos play for the first time at your tournament in Long Beach, the doubles event. Kid's nasty. I'm kind of shocked to see it just this dominating by Daniel, but I guess that's no shocker, as good as he is.
Right. Look at that. Shots like that aren't helping his cause. The other thing, too, is Carlos had to play 2 matches before coming in. This is DLR's first match. And Carlos is also in the doubles, so he had a heavy load last night, and then to come into this match, he actually won his first round of doubles, was here this morning for his second round, which he lost. So he's definitely put a little bit of work on the body. Were you able to catch any of that Sudsy match that was going on over there?
Brian, I watched the whole thing like a racquetball fan, like I was a kid again, watching Sudsy play on tour. It's just nostalgic for me to see him out here
No doubt.
playing at the level in such good shape. It's really fun.
Yeah. Wasn't it nice, too, to be at a court where just standing room only, you're trying to find, like, just every nook and cranny of viewing possible?
Yeah, it's classic. I think if this was on the stadium court, it would have been full. Everybody was really excited to see Sudsy, playing so well and in such good shape, and he looked great. And it was cool to see him tested in the last 2 games and see him overcome all that and win it. Felipe played great, put up a good fight. He never gave up, and Sudsy just got tougher and tougher.
Just kind of gave me the chills a little bit when he talked about Felipe, because he really is, he not as sound on the backhand as he is the forehand. But one thing I'll say about him, he's one of my favorite competitors because no matter how outmatched he is or overmatched he is, never stops.
Yeah, he's a fighter, and it's
Straight
fun
up.
to watch.
Mm-hmm. It's nice use of the body there from De La Rosa as he shoots.
Had to put his shoe back on. Looks like he got a flat tire there.
So not to get too far from this match, but getting back to Sudsy, he's got his true test coming up next. He's got to take on one of the top seeds now for the last couple of years, Jansen Allen, who every swing of the racket keeps getting better every tournament. Always learns something, especially after a loss like he had in L.A. Every tournament he has a place where he's in the 16s or quarter loses, maybe someone he should beat. Usually the next tournament comes back and really shows the signs of improvement. How do you feel about Sudsy going up against one of the rising and top players today?
I'm a huge fan of Jansen Allen. One thing I love the most about him is his composure.
Mm-hmm.
And he just kind of keeps that even heartbeat while he's out murdering people like Hannibal Lecter. What's interesting is he keeps that same vibe throughout, whereas you see just explosive stuff come out of Sudsy. You can kind of see glimpses of the old Suds. So, just which Sudsy's going to show up, how's he handling these prelim matches, a hard doubles match, 42 years old. you can train all you want, get in great shape, but it's all a test when you're in these tough situations. So I have no call, really. I'm just looking for a great match. Rooting for Sudsy, just because I'm a big fan.
Sure.
And he comes from my generation, so of course I'm rooting for him to do well and go all the way. I would love to see Kane and Sudsy play on this main court. I'm just going to say that out loud.
Okay, the hairs on the back of my head are tingling because like a racquetball geek that I am, I saw this draw and I looked at it and I said, what are the possibilities that these guys line up? And obviously, two things. One, the Stars have a line for Sudsy, a player of his background, his lineage, to actually be able to do this. He's got one of the more idealistic draws, not anything against the players, but of the top players, he would have to go through Camacho, which check mark. He then has Jansen Allen, and if he gets through that, then he has to go through Beltran.
So then, yeah, let's stick to that. I mean, I would love to see that too. Again, somebody from our generation where, sitting there watching that match, I'm just going to be glued face to the glass watching every single point of that because that's just exciting for me. So, yeah, let's not forget about that before the Kane match.
Right.
Either way, that's going to be exciting, just seeing those two out there.
Every match is building, building, building.
Carlos starting to make a run here.
Right. I'm going to keep talking about Sudsy because that's really inspired him, apparently. He can hear me from out here. He
Yeah,
hears
exactly.
us
He feels
talking,
it.
and he's like, hey, wait, get back to me. This is great to see. This was one of the very few players that, as running a tournament, I've ever invited out to a tournament because I wanted to see firsthand. I had talked a lot extensively with John Ellis about the Keller brothers. And so that's how we made it possible for the Long Beach Open for them to come out. And it was nothing short of awesome to watch. I've also had a chance to see one of their other countrymen, Kadim Carrasco, but also Conrado Moscoso. And that guy can ball out. Oh, my gosh. Whoever taught these guys how to hit the ball knows something.
Yeah, this new crop's got a whole new style of play, and I'm loving that. So a lot of talk about De La Rosa being kind of the next thing. If there's anybody who's going to put a challenge, or put up a fight against Kane, try to shake him up at all. A lot of talk over the few years that De La Rosa was or is that guy. What do you think about that? You've been watching more racquetball than I have over the years.
Right. Well, I'd say of the younger crop, he dialed in. He cracked the code on the IRT, no doubt. He owns that market. He was fighting neck and neck with Rojas, who Rojas kind of lost his mindset along the way. He's been doing it for so long, and now we don't know where he's at. But he cracked the code, and he's comfortable with where he's at. I think as we start seeing countries send their players like the Kellers and the Moscosos and the Carrascos and all these young players. You've got Javier Mar coming out of Mexico, who I guess in national play can give it to DLR. So many of these great young players that are coming through. I think the more we see them, the more we'll see racquetball not only improve, but DLR is going to get pushed. He's not going to be as comfortable showing up to these tournaments anymore, and then we'll really see his potential come to light, because I don't think we've seen even the best yet of DLR, and he's the third-ranked player in the world. So I think right now, because of where he's at, to answer your question long-winded, he is the heir to the throne, but he's got to get through that threshold. However, the longer he takes to get there, the more he's allowing his fellow young players to come through and make a name for themselves.
No, you're making a great point. The other thing about De La Rosa I've noticed is when De La Rosa's coming off a few big wins and he's got some confidence, he's a whole different player. It's almost like a swagger you see, like a little limp in his step, like it's all confidence. And when you see that, like you watched him play Rocky, both indoors and outdoors, and if he plays almost cocky, it's better. He plays better, as if he feels like he's supposed to win. And coming off these outdoor wins and a couple things he's done off season here, I don't know, De La Rosa looks pretty confident right now. So this would be the style of De La Rosa that I'd love to see in these big matches.
Absolutely. And it does come off almost kind of Alvaro-esque, where it looks like he's just kind of, like you said, he's got that swagger on the court, like, oh, yeah, another roll-ups, here it comes. Like, kind of almost looks like he's taking it for granted, but that's just where he finds his comfort zone, I guess.
Yeah.
Me, myself, like, if I don't hit it right in the cross strings in my women's men combined B division, I'm just like, shoot, I'm going to lose this one right now.
Exactly, yeah. No, it's basically I'd much rather see a cocky De La Rosa than a conservative De La Rosa on that court.
Right. Would you say it's like that perfect blend of confidence meets cockiness?
Yeah, I think there's a fine line, and I think he wears that well. And when he does that, I think he has a little trouble finding that sometimes. I think it just how he prepares for these tournaments, and you just for me, I've seen a different version of De La Rosa, maybe split personalities almost. He's got a, when he is playing with that air of confidence, it's a whole nother ball game.
I don't like that call. He definitely jumped. If he's hitting him while he's in the air, is that really an offensive shot?
No, I agree with you.
He's made such a great stride in this game. You'd hate to see one call get away from him. Luckily able to salvage there and get the side out. But we were in the last game, and it was early. But after having lost the first game when he was up in the first half of it, lost it bad in the second half of it, came out to a 2-0 lead, miscues on one shot in a matter of 5 minutes. He lost the second game at 11-3. So I'd love to see this get pushed at least one game, just so people know the more these two match up, the more we're going to start seeing of Carlos. Because he really is one of my favorite singles players to watch. Smooth stroke, gets to more balls than should be humanly possible. Solid between the ears, and still young and fresh.
How old is he, Brian?
I want to say he is the younger brother, and I want to say either 19 or 20. So, I mean, especially with Sudsy at 42 and Cliff at 52, 51. He's doing what they're doing. This guy still has another 2 to 3 decades left of good ball in him.
Man, it sure was nice seeing Cliff and Sudsy out there playing
Wasn't
dubs.
It? Great read. Look at this, Sean. All signs of go here for Keller to take game 2. Looks like DLR broke his strings a little bit while we have a little bit of time. How's life on the other side of the pond?
Tough without any racquetball courts over there.
Yeah.
Hitting a lot against the garage door. Putting some dents in that. But, yeah, we're enjoying it. It's a beautiful country and great people. It's peaceful. Kids are loving it. Yeah, just no racquetball. That's the tough part. And, of course, missing family and friends over here. But we are definitely enjoying life over there.
Here we
Open
are.
door to any and all racquetball players that want to come out to New Zealand and hang out. Come to
There
the
it
Roysters.
is. That would be a fun trip, no doubt. Short pause here for Keller as he's sided out after a string break from DLR.
Daniel's diving now. He doesn't want this to get away from him. Ooh.
That's a smooth criminal right there. Doesn't even give a fist pump, just all business on that one.
Yeah, I love the no fist bump as if that's just normal. Just
Right.
blast to roll out.
That's where the ball's supposed to go, right? Okay. Checks out. DLR take a little more time here. Letting Keller soak in what he's trying to do here, maybe overthink it.
A lot of short first serves from Carlos.
Here it is, plumb executed, and we're going one more game, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a short break in the action. When we return, can Carlos Keller go the distance and take it 5, or is DLR into the Sweet 16? We'll be right back with more of the action. You're hanging out with Sean and Brian. Don't go anywhere.
When it comes to the game of life, we're all on the same team. And success comes simply from trying. You don't have to be a celebrated athlete to celebrate being active. And you don't have to be on the field to have your own cheering section. United Healthcare.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is game number 4 of the 22nd rendition of the U.S. Open of Racquetball here in downtown Minneapolis, home of the Timberwolves at Target Center, Lifetime Fitness. If you're just joining us, you can see there on the Penn scorecard 11-6, 11-3 DLR. Look like an all DLR racket fest. Carlos Keller able to demonstrate who he is and what he can do as he takes on the number 3 seed and takes game 3, 11-6. We now find ourselves here in game number 4. Oh my goodness. That's a tough call there from the young Bolivian. Adam Mania making the best call he can possibly give. For sure believe that's what he believe is the right call. It looks like we're going to have a redo here. I'm a little confused myself. Pardon the pause there. Trying to figure out what's going on. I thought for sure it was a 2 bounce, possibly skip off the frame to the front wall from DLR. But Adam definitely has the best seat in the house to have seen that. So we got to trust his judgment on that one. And it's really hard to say a 2 bounce on DLR when he's getting level like that. He is by far and away top 1% of the 1% of the 1% that gets him more balls than is humanly possible. So benefit of the doubt, plus you have an honest official like Mania, completely 100% unbiased. All the same, it's just a replay, no harm, no foul. 0-0. As they say, the ball never lies. That time, I'm going to go with Adam on that one. It's a well-struck ball there from DLR. I think that's just more of a tired of not getting a call. The last couple were can go out of the way. I think it's more frustration. And that's not helping the cause there. It's beautiful stuff. DLR's game plan is going right to action. Opportunity Keller. Lines up for the splat. DLR leaves that one up. Keller leaves his up. This might be the appropriate time for a timeout before it gets too far away from him. 4 serving 2. Maybe going to wait one more point. But every point is so detrimental as DLR is one game away from being in the 16s. Not the best of serves there from Daniel De La Rosa. That's sweet. A little trick shottery there from the young Bolivian. Makes it 3-4. It's nice. He's got such a natural splat, Carlos Keller. And once again, if you're just tuning in, there was a default that will be happening. We were scheduled to have Roland Keller and Rocky Carson up next. Keller has sustained a good amount of injury and is saving himself for the doubles, so a very selfless act. As much as he wanted to play the singles, he had to forfeit for the betterment of his doubles team, and no one can blame him for that. So Rocky is through the round of 16, which means the next match that will be up after this will be the number 1 seed on the women's tour, star phenom Paula Longoria, taking on the number 32 seed out of Simi Valley, California, Janelle Tysinger. And that's a pure shot there from DLR. Makes that look so easy, so cookie cutter. But to execute a serve that gets the plum you're looking for, and then to pat that ball down the line 2 bounces before the service box, takes great poise, great fortitude. That's a good timeout right there. As we see 7 serving 4. We'll keep it right here and just say thanks to all the court sponsors. We have Dick's Sporting Goods, where every season starts at. Sports Minneapolis, powered by Meet Minneapolis. We also want to thank Pro Kenix, hosting most of the Pro Kenix finals, if not all this season. We have Pro Pen HD, where it's high definition. And also Racquetball Warehouse. They're our official product sponsor. So, Racquetball Warehouse, we want to thank them for their continued support of the tour. Any and all great deals, you can find them there at racquetballwarehouse.com. Also want to thank Rollout Racquetball, the official apparel of Team USA, sponsoring players from all around the world. Handball, racquetball, paddleball, pickleball. They're becoming a household name. And don't forget to use your head. If you're not using your pen, use your head. Head. And then also our great friends at Arafa House, D and Sal Percani, for everything they do for racquetball. When they're not on the court, when they're not sponsoring this event specifically, they're at the charity booth doing the auction. And it's just so many hours of zero sleep and total dedication to the sport. Really, thank you is just an underlying of really what they mean to the sport. Eight serving 4. There's DLR. Just routine right there. Nine serving 4. DLR 2 points away from a date in the 16s. Once again, the winner of this match will take on the winner of Eric Garcia, playing for CSU Pueblo. Originally from Mexico, taking on former IRT head official, former top 8 IRT player, Charlie Pratt. Ten serving 4. This is match point here for DLR. All signs a go for the top ranked seed to go through to the 16s. Pardon me. That Minneapolis weather for sure. Ooh. Opportunity to finish there with a diving kill. Ops to keep the match going. Daniel boxed himself out. Keller miscues just by a touch. Tries to go for the crack. Hits a good serve. Not his best, but a good serve. Able to jump, stay out of the way, and executes. Beautiful serve. This is his wide angle. Oh, what a get. And that's a fancy framework right there from DLR. A great rally overall. finalized with the deception of DLR and beautiful put down. Hands to the right side. Oh, no. Got a couple opportunities here to put the match away. Letting Carlos linger on just a touch more. Just saw legendary coach Fran Davis is in the house. Pardon me, that's a miscue on my part. I got the score wrong. Score is actually 9-5. Now we're on cue. Giving my director the business over here, giving him the wrong information. I apologize to everyone out there. I'm standing 10 feet away from the ref. You think I could get that right? What a cutter. A Suddy cutter Sark to finish the match. DLR is on to the round of 16 in four games. He wins 11-6, 11-3, lost 6-11 in the third, and recoups and is in the 16s, like I said, 11-5. So up next, we are going to have Paula Longoria taking on Janelle Tissinger. That's a round of 32 match. So give these players a few moments to lace up, lock up, and get ready to shoot. We will try to fix and get this also live on Facebook, so stick around. And if you can, we got the network, YouTube, Facebook, and a bunch of others out there. So we'll be right back, guys. Don't go anywhere. More action to come live from the Timberwolves Center.